Today I'm actually doing a tag which you probably know by the name, but it's a tag that I saw going around like ages ago, and I never really clicked on it because I thought it was a total like clickbait kind of video because of the title. And then just the other day I actually watched my first one and I was like, oh, this is really cool, and it really lets you like know a little bit more about this person. So I thought, let's do it. So today we're going to be doing my first time tag. Let's get into it. Number one, first crush. So I was thinking about this, and like the earliest crush that I can remember. So something that you guys have to know about me is I was like a total nerd, total introvert, and super shy and awkward around boys. I never knew how, like, I would malfunction around them basically. Like, it was like I was a robot and my settings just didn't work with boys because I would always just malfunction. Like, I didn't know what to say. I would turn tomato red. I got so like shy and awkward around them. And so all my early on boy stories are like a disaster. But like one of the earliest ones I can think of is in 6th grade. And I actually, like, we ended up going to high school together. I know who he is. He knows who I am. So it'd be super awkward to say his name because I do remember his name. But yeah, like, I know him, so that'd be so awkward if he knows he's like one of my first crushes. But him, I actually did kind of manage to make sentences out and talk to. And I mean, it was never anything, but I mean, like, I talked to him as a friend and I had the biggest crush on him, and I would doodle his name. I would write out his name and doodle it in my journal. I would dream about us being together, and yeah, but obviously it didn't go anywhere because I was too shy to speak up. So question number 2, that is first kiss. So this was, again, was very shy when it came to boys. So my first kiss was actually not until high school. Yes, my first kiss wasn't even until high school, and it was with one of my very first boyfriends ever, and it was super awkward to say the least. I actually didn't even know how to kiss. I actually knew that it was coming because he would walk me to my class and tell me goodbye, and I knew this is coming. So I actually Googled or YouTubed how to kiss. I was like, maybe if I watch a video. But no, like, you can't learn from a video. You don't see what's happening in the mouth. Like, there's no way to explain it. So yeah, I'm so lame, and I remember that I looked up how to kiss because I had no idea. And I was obviously way too ashamed to tell him that I had never kissed before because everybody in that grade had already like done a lot more than just kissing, if you know what I'm saying. And me over here had never even like managed to have a full sentence conversation with a boy. So yeah, it was super awkward. He went in for it and I was like, okay, here goes. And it was sloppy and weird and awkward because I didn't know what I was doing. And yeah, that relationship ended shortly after that. Obviously, because he probably, like, it's a total turnoff if somebody can't kiss, but it's not that I didn't know. I just, it's not that I was a bad kisser. I just didn't know how to kiss, and I didn't have the guts to tell him that I didn't. I think it would have been, actually, now in hindsight, it would have been a much cuter kind of romantic story if I would have just said, hey, you know what, you're my first kiss, I don't know how to do this, so guide me through it. I actually think that would have been so much more romantic, and I had to make it super awkward because I was too ashamed to say it. But now here I am putting it on the internet. Next question. First best friend. My first best friend I met in elementary school in 4th grade. So I came to the US in 3rd grade, and I made like my very first best friend in 4th grade. And her name is Bianca, and we are still friends today, and I'm super blessed to be able to say that I am still friends with her after so long. And she's an amazing friend, and yeah, we did all of our first crazy adventures together, and that's actually leads into question number 4, which is first sleepover. My first sleepover was with her, and it's funny because we actually lived in the same apartment complexes. That's why we like eventually started talking, because like we would ride the bus together, and we actually had a class together, and we lived in the same complex. So my first sleepover was in the same apartment complex, and to me it was huge because my family would not ever let me stay the night over at someone else's house. The only reason they allowed this one was because she lived 2 blocks away. I mean, probably even just like 15 steps. And also because she knew her mom and they had gotten to know each other, they liked each other, they trusted each other. So yeah, that was my first sleepover. It was a couple blocks away, but to me it was amazing. And we had a lot more after that. First most embarrassing moment. So probably the awkward kiss moment. And then I had a ton, like I said, a ton of embarrassing boy moments, which I'll probably make like a separate like story time video about because I have so many. If somebody asked me, Jessica, sum up your life in 2 words, like my early childhood life, I would say, hot mess. Because I was a hot mess. Lots of embarrassing moments. Question number 6, oh, I'm sorry, 7. I probably messed this up, so I'll write it in. But first plane ride. So as I mentioned, I don't know how many of you guys know this, but I'm not originally from the US. I'm actually originally from Peru. So my very first plane ride was actually coming here to the States. It was the very first time I rode a plane was coming to the US, and it was from Peru to Miami, Florida. And I only have good memories from it. I remember being really excited. I remember my parents giving us gum because they're like, you have to chew gum throughout the plane ride. And for some reason I thought that was exciting. We watched a movie. Yeah, it was a really good memory. So it was from Peru to Miami, Florida. It was my first plane ride. My first fear. Okay, so this is kind of funny because it kind of ties in with riding an airplane. I'm actually terrified of heights. For as early as I could remember, I've been terrified of heights. And I mean terrified. I feel like I am going to fall off anytime I'm somewhere that's relatively high. So it's really kind of ironic that I enjoy plane rides, but like I think it's because I'm in an enclosed area, and like you don't have to look out the window if you don't want to, and you don't feel the air or the pressure. Like you're just high up and kind of like it's almost like you're in a car, and it's all closed up. You can't see how high you really are. You can't tell. So yeah, I think that's why I'm not scared of planes, but I am definitely terrified of heights. High buildings, roller coasters, anything. I'm terrified. It's ridiculous. I'm like the worst person to go to an amusement park with because like I hate when the roller coaster kind of goes up. You're just held by a little bar. Doesn't that scream death to anyone? Just by a little bar, no seatbelts, and you're like going up, and if you look down, you feel all of the air coming down. Your stomach sinks to the bottom of your stomach. It just kind of, I don't know if that makes sense, but like your heart, I guess your heart like drops to your stomach, and you're like, and then you're like shaking, looking back, and yeah, it's like. A roller coaster is like my worst fear. Yeah, my very first pet has to be parakeets because I know growing up my grandma always had parakeets in her home, and we always had at least one turquoise parakeet, and then I think we had like a lime green and a dark blue. They're beautiful birds. But yeah, that was my first pet. First tattoo. I'm actually a tattoo virgin. I don't know why I pointed here. Because I once considered a tattoo here, but I have no tattoos and I am not planning on getting any. So first piercing was my belly button. Got it in high school with a super sketchy guy at his house, but it was where everybody got their first piercings in my high school. Like we all knew this guy that pierced at his home, and like he was a retired, like he did have a license, and well, or he claimed, you know, super sketchy, but yes, and I still have it. So thankfully it went good. First alcoholic drink. Okay, so this was a little early on. I was 14 or 15, and I got invited to a party in like sophomore, freshman year of high school, and my friend got invited by her boyfriend. Obviously, I didn't have a boyfriend because we all know I was lame, so yeah, I didn't get invited by no boyfriend, but she did, and she invited me, and we went, and everybody just kind of sat in a circle and drank, and then she's like, oh, you want to drink this? This is super sweet, you'll like it, and it was Malibu something. I thought it was gross, but I drank some of it. I didn't drink to get drunk. I never drank to get drunk. I was too terrified of being drunk around people that I didn't know and something happening. So yeah, I never, ever got drunk to where I would black out, ever. Because I was not going to be that girl that woke up the next morning and was like, what? I hooked up with who? No. Heck no. So yeah, but my first drink was Malibu something. I don't remember what, but it was Malibu. First subscribed to on YouTube. We're going to take it back to 2008, and I watched two people, and it was Dulce Candy and Shane Dawson. Those are the first people that got me like hooked on YouTube, like that I would go back and watch continuously. And yeah, like YouTube has actually been a big part of my life and growing up, because I've been watching since 2008. First concert, it was Shakira, and we went to a concert in New Mexico. My aunties took me and my sister, and it was amazing. I was really young, and I remember my ears really hurt because the music was so loud and it was just bouncing off my ears. But nonetheless, I enjoyed it. And I remember at one point she came over here and danced on a little stage that was right in front of me, and I was dancing. I was dancing with her, and then she smiled at me. So yeah, it was amazing. I still love Shakira, and that was my first concert. My first phone was a little gray flip phone with a little antenna. Super lame. It was one of those that you have to press the button like 3 times to get to the 3rd letter. But it did have texting on there, and I think it was in 6th or 7th grade, but it was a flip phone. First job was at a little restaurant. I like cleaned the tables and prepared the chips, and it was a super casual part-time. I had no experience, but my sister hooked it up. Like, that was my sister's first job, and she knew the owner, so she kind of just, they hired me just to be nice. But I had no skills, and I ended up quitting shortly because I didn't like it. But I did have a lot more jobs after that. I started working since I was 16. First car was I believe a 2009 or 2008 Mitsubishi Eclipse, and I love that car. I have so many memories in that car, but I no longer have that car. Oh, and it was like light blue, yeah, like a really pale, no, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, it was blue, in the blue family. And the first person to text me today was my mom, just asking, like saying good morning, how are you? And 19 is first teacher. My first teacher, the first teacher that I can remember was a teacher named Miss Moody. Which, yeah, she got made fun of in elementary school because with that name, how can you not be made fun of? But that's not the only reason that I remember her. It's also because, like I said, I was a foreign, I guess, and in 4th grade, I was still new. I had only been in the States for about a year, maybe. So I wasn't super fluent in English, and she would take me around during the hour that I had with her, however long, and take me around the classroom and make sure that I knew how to say everything in English. And she made it her goal to get me to that 4th grade reading level, which she did. So it was amazing, and I thank her, and I remember her till today because she took that extra step to make sure that I learned. So it was super sweet. And last question is, first thing I do in the morning. Eat. I eat. I go to sleep thinking about food, and I wake up thinking about food. I'm like, what am I going to make for breakfast? What am I going to make for breakfast today? So yeah, food. But that wraps it up. That wraps it up here. Are the 20 questions. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know me a little bit better, getting like a glimpse of my super awkward and embarrassing life, I guess. But if you want to see more videos like this, more tag videos, please comment down below and let me know which ones you want to see, like which tags I should do. I'm totally down. I thought this was actually super fun. So yeah, just let me know. And be sure to follow me on Instagram and on Snapchat. I'm always on those. And don't forget, have a beautiful life, kiss a beautiful face, and be grateful for every single day.